It looks like Ubisoft and 10... Oh my god. It has been foretold. It's actually happening. Let's take a look at it. Ubisoft has partnered with Tencent to form a new subsidiary valued at $4.3 billion with a 25% stake. So Tencent owns a quarter of this new subsidiary of Ubisoft. The subsidiary will feature key Ubisoft franchises like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, aiming to develop a multi-platform game ecosystem. Anybody who's watched, you know this is the exact same thing that I said was going to happen. Like, I called this directly. I'm feeling real cute. I'm gonna be honest. I'm feeling real fucking cute right now. The most humble streamer? Yeah, I said just... Dude, you can't have the number go down like that and not have the house be on fire. Like, that's the way it works. So, of course it's going to happen. And I said it was even going to be by Tencent. And it was by Tencent. So, here we go. The move is seen as a strategy to protect Ubisoft's valuable IPs and potentially restructuring the business model. Discussions online suggest this could lead to significant changes in control or the eventual closure of the original Ubisoft if it encounters financial issues with the new entity holding valuable IPs and potentially attracting top talent. So, basically, they made a new Ubisoft. Yeah. Wow. Check their stock. Okay. It's going up a lot, actually, but this is before the announcement. The announcement hasn't been made yet, so right now it's very high, and I think that we can expect to see it continue going up higher as soon as this happens, because the problem is that those are insiders. Yeah, it probably could be insider trading, realistically, right? Or they heard about it earlier on, like, you know, a French news station before it really hit America. I don't know really why. So Ubisoft, and this is it. Ubisoft accelerates its transformation by laying foundation for new operating model with the creation of subsidiary and injection of 1.16 billion of cash from selected investor Tencent. Man. Today, Ubisoft is accelerating its transformation by taking an important step in rapidly evolving its operating model with the creation of dedicated subsidiary based on Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six brands. Following the formal competitive selection process, Tencent will invest, again, for 25%. Backed by greater investment and boosted creator capabilities, it will drive further increases in quality of narrative solo experience, expand multiplayer offerings with increased frequency of content release, introduce free-to-play touchpoints, and integrate more social features. So, the binding agreement with Tencent follows the formal and competitive process in exploring and assessing different strategic options assessed earlier this year, based on the careful consideration of several expressions of interest received from diverse parties, and its duty to act in the best interest of all Ubisoft stakeholders. The board of directors, upon recommendation from the ad hoc committee, determined that this transaction crystallized the best value for Ubisoft's assets and unanimously approved the proposed transaction on March 27th. Man. Well, there it is. There we go, gentlemen. Ubisoft is, I mean, as I said, I didn't think the company was going to be sold. I thought it was going to be restructured. It's being restructured. And China now owns 25% of it. So, that's a lot. How much you bet? Yeah, they're going to fire everybody and then reallocate the IPs. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're doing this, by the way, and this is what's going to happen. Everybody's getting fired. Yeah, they're getting rid of probably most of these people. Like, if you're working at Ubisoft right now, I would update my resume. Like, that's it. Because, like, you look at this, right? Ubisoft employees. Employee count. They have 23,000 employees. So if you really think that they're going to... Do you really think Tencent is going to keep 23,000 people on the payroll? Abso-fucking-lutely not. So these guys are done. Like, they're totally cooked. It's over. It's finished. They're totally going to change this, and that's going to be it, man. And I think it's kind of funny for me to see this. Because everybody on Twitter was talking about how much of a success Assassin's Creed was and how everything is fine. And I don't know if these people can read a graph. I don't know if they can read a graph. Like, anybody could have seen this happening. But for some reason, people didn't want to see that. Why would you ever need 23,000 people? I bet there's a lot of guys in China right now that are wondering that exact same thing. You know? So we'll see what happens. And, yeah, there it is. And they can ratio the tweet. Yeah, they can ratio tweets, but they can't ratio investors. That's right. And Tencent, well, they got ratioed by China. And, wow. Ubisoft has officially sold its video game franchises and formed a new subsidiary giving Tencent 25% ownership and royalties. Ubisoft did so well with Assassin's Creed Shadows, they were forced to sell. I told you so. I said this shit was gonna happen. Man. I said it was gonna happen, like... The thing is that I didn't think it was going to be so fast. This shit was really quick. You think Elon's going to tweet about him? I don't know. Maybe he will. And Tencent acquires a 25% stake in Ubisoft's new gaming subsidiary. If I'm understanding correctly, Ubisoft protects their most valuable IPs by making Tencent an investment, and Ubisoft gets a share of the profit. I think this is a good thing. If you like Ubisoft games and you want them to continue making good games, this is the best case scenario. It really is. Tencent also, by the way, before anybody, oh, China bad, China bad. Grinding Gear Games, the people that we just watched their like video game showcase and everybody was like pogging out about, Grinding Gear Games is owned completely by Tencent, and so is Riot. So like this whole idea that like, oh, China bad, get the fuck out of here. Like, China's the only people now that are making good games. So, no, I don't want to hear that at all. Are you tired of being always right? No, I'm just tired of people that don't want to admit it. That's the only thing I'm tired of. And Ubisoft still owns partial and new subsidiaries. Yeah, of course they do. Ubisoft forming a subsidiary company. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Well, no word yet on what this means for the other franchises or the company's approximately 19,000 employees. What could it possibly mean for those 19,000 employees? Who could know? I wonder. I do. I wonder. And so anyway, they were in part making Smite. Oh, I don't know about Smite. I never really played that. That's a Mizkif game. And why do they even have 19K employees? You know what? After playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm not sure either. So anyway, or Star Wars Outlaw. So there it is. I'm not really sure how this is a bad thing. To put into perspective, 19,000 employees is $1.8 billion. Get woke, go broke. These are IPs that have value. Very interesting move. Rip Ubisoft, you were good years ago. Well, this is going to make... China will make Ubisoft great again. Because they'll hold them to high standards and they don't care about any sort of, like, social messaging, any kind of... Like, what they care about is making a video game that people will buy. That's all they care about. Like, that's it. That's the only thing that matters. They will make a video game and people will buy the video game. They don't care about AI. They don't care about, diversity. They don't care about DEI. They don't care about, LGBT. They don't care about any of that stuff. All they care about is making a good game. No messaging, no bullshit, just a good game. And if you look at a lot of the other studios that they have ownership in, I think that this is a very, very tried and true practice. And from what I've seen, it sure seems to work. And you can't type 1989. That's another thing. You can't forget that. Anyway, let's go back over. Make all 19,000 work on Splinter Cell. Well, there's not going to be all 19,000 for very long, man. And no word yet for the 19,000. Yeah, bro. It's done, bro. Yeah, everyone ready for the news cycle of Assassin's Creed Shadows? I saw this before. There it is. Okay, it didn't sell as much as we are. Give me a second. I think we're about like right here. Yeah, we're about like right here. Just so you guys understand this. This is an undisputed, categorical, catastrophic, cataclysmic Chud victory. China is going to make games for Chuds. They are. This is a total Chud victory. I'm sorry to say. Wow. I'm happy to see this. Assassin's Creed Shadows Peak wasn't even close to Monster Hunter Wilds current low concurrent players. Oh, yeah, no, the game didn't sell as well as it needed to. That's just all there is to it. I mean, if like obviously, I think the truth is that the writing was probably on the wall from this after they derived pre-orders. Like, it's not like these guys, like, they knew whether this game was going to do well or not before it came out. Like, realistically, they knew. And so they probably had a projection because, I mean, they've got 10 years of, like, pre-order data, and they can extrapolate from that, right? I mean, of course they can. And so the fact that they're doing this, I think, is very obvious that, you know, this was planned for a while. This wasn't because of the reception of Assassin's Creed Shadows. This is because of the reception of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, having to shut down X-Defiant, Star Wars Outlaws, and also the negative reception leading up to Assassin's Creed Shadows, that I think that even if you don't agree with any of the sentiment and you think that Assassin's Creed Shadows was still a success, you have to acknowledge that all of the controversy was a negative for the game. Like, if you look at, like, did the controversy make the game sell more copies or less copies? It made it sell, I think, a lot less copies. And Skull and Bones, too. I forgot about that. Yeah. So this is the reality. This is not, like... I really doubt that Ubisoft... Assassin's Creed Shadows came out. Wait, there's not enough people playing. Quick, sell it now. Shut it down. Quick, call up China. All right, do you still have the money? Okay, all right, let's get this done now. That's not what happened. I really just don't think that's what happened, guys. This was planned years ago. This was planned when the downturn began. That's what I think happened. I think this downturn began, and then as soon as Ubisoft saw the writing on the wall with this, they decided, you know what? We're fucked. Basically, we're fucked. And that's it. Shadows flopped. It doesn't matter if Shadows flopped. Shadows didn't flop, but it's not a shining star either. It's just another video game. And they needed it to be an Elden Ring. And it wasn't. It was not an Elden Ring. Anyway, so even a shining star cannot save a company that big? Well, no, I think that if Assassin's Creed Shadows... Like, okay, if Assassin's Creed Shadows had sold as many copies as Black Myth Wukong, I think that we would be having a very different conversation, and there's a chance that this deal might have been changed slightly. But I think that really, Assassin's Creed Shadows was like the... It's kind of like after you break up with a girlfriend for being toxic, and then you find out she was cheating on you after you already broke up with her. Like, yeah, it definitely made things worse, but the decision was already made. You know, like, it was already done. The whole Snow White controversy is getting ugly. I don't know about that. I didn't see anything about that controversy at all. I'd have to go back and take a look. So, yeah, this happened to you? I'd have to think. I don't think so. Shining Star would barely move the needle. They spend a few $100 million per year. No game saves that amount of spend. They need a large slate of games coming out, which they don't have. A good game would help sell upcoming releases, but they never had that. You're actually bringing up a really good point, is that even a very big game exists inside of an ecosystem. So, like, if I go and I look at, for example, Ubisoft, and let me go back, I'll pull this up real quick. And if you look at the developer... right? And you see these games and how well these games are doing. It's really not super great. And I think obviously, like, wait, why is it, Shadows? Where's Assassin's Creed? Shadows ass. I probably shouldn't be searching that. Okay, there we go. So if I look at Ubisoft Quebec, okay, so this is just, there's so many of these publishers. Okay, is it going to work here? Yeah, here it is. And so if you look at a lot of these games that have released and you look at like when they came out, like you see For Honor came out, you know, kind of a while ago. It's doing okay, or it did okay. But this game basically totally died, it seems. I'll go ahead and I'll pull it up and show you. And so you can see right here, Max. Okay, yeah, there we go. And so you had a huge amount of people playing the game, and I don't know why this happened, but, you know, like then everybody basically quit the game, and it went back down to 5,000 players, so this is a dead game. Rainbow Six Siege, this game's actually pretty popular. I would say this is probably their biggest game that they have right now, is Rainbow Six Siege. Then you have Tom Clancy's The Division. This game came out quite a while ago. It was very successful. It did very well. And then, obviously, it just totally fucking died, and it's completely flatlined. It has less than 1,000 players. Then you have Far Cry 5. And what you notice here is that almost none of these video games were released in 2020 and above, right? They were all from 2018, 2014, 2017, 2017, Brawlhalla 2017. So they haven't released anything good in the last 5 years, really, that's been successful, at least on Steam. And so that's really the problem. There's The Division 2. Well, I don't know where that is. Look up Division 2. Okay. Tom Clancy's okay. Like, I mean, that's not. I mean, this doesn't really look super good, does it? I mean, I feel like this is kind of bad too. So yeah, that doesn't help. I feel like that just makes it worse. And so my point is that, you know, a lot of these video games that they've released, like if I just look at, let me look at the most recent releases, okay? And so let's look at, this is all DLC. It's kind of annoying. Look at Star Wars Outlaws, for example. You think about how many millions of dollars went into making a game like Star Wars Outlaws, and then the game just totally flops. Like, the problem is that they make video games that, if you're an indie developer and your game has, let's say, 3,000 players, I would say that's a really big W. Like, you're doing great. But the problem is that when you are this massive publisher and you're moving this mountain of a company around with 19,000, 23,000 employees, you can't afford to have 3,000 players. You have to keep getting these big hits all the time. And the fact is, they're not getting these big hits. They're not even coming close to getting these big hits. And that's it. And this is their Stardew Valley. Can you check on Immortals of Avenum, $180 million game? Well, it wasn't made by Ubisoft. It's aside from the point. Like, even Assassin's Creed Mirage, like, this game came out, apparently. I guess it got released on Steam. I don't know about that. But, you know, this game, it was okay. But it just, none of these games really are massively popular. And you can't run a studio as big as Ubisoft without having massively popular, what do you call it? Massively popular hits. Yeah, they have more employees than players. I mean, I would say that's not looking so good. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I mean, there's a McDonald's that has more employees than Skull and Bones. So it's not really saying a whole lot. But either way, it doesn't look good for them at all. So, you know, that's pretty much where we're at. And I think Ubisoft, as I said before, I think that they're cooked. Let me see here. I'm going to see if I can search it up. Asmongold, Ubisoft. And these are the people, they want it. See, this is actually, and you remember in the Bible, this is what they did to Jesus. So Jesus tried to tell the people the truth, and they wanted to kill him for it. They were angry. They didn't want to come into the light. And now the light has come into the cave. That's it. The cave is falling down. It's crumbling. I said this was going to happen. The first person, yes, Jesus, you guys might not know this, but Jesus is actually the first person in history to get canceled. So anyway, I don't know if I really looked at this. Ubisoft, let me see here. Is it cooked, maybe? Is this really what it was? Avowed game is full of psychos. Yeah, I don't know really if I could find it. But I know that there were a few clips of me talking about Ubisoft and everybody calling me stupid because I thought this was going to happen. And so, yeah, anyway, the point that I'm making here is that if you look at this publisher and you see their releases that they've made, almost every single one of these games is a piece of shit. They're all pieces of shit that nobody plays. That's all it comes down to. Like, and even if you think that they're good, they're not good enough. These games are not popular enough to have to run a massive studio like this. It's just not going to happen, man. Yeah. I don't care. We're talking about Jesus now, bro. Well, I mean, that's what I was saying. I was talking about myself. And anyway, so Caesar was the first one to get canceled. Is that it? We need to talk about the Greek situation. There's somebody spamming. I don't know about what we doing spamming. What's going on, Greek Warrior? I saw Greek. I saw you got banned. I did. You got banned on WoW. But then somebody else said you were buying gold, and so, like, I don't know what the fuck happened. That's why, like, I saw your situation. I just didn't know the details of it. That's why I haven't covered it yet. But, like, if you want to, like, if somebody wants to send me, like, his whole situation, then I'd be down to look at it and see. Because I like the guy, right? He's like a S-fan if S-fan played a warrior instead of a paladin, you know? And that's it. The ego, the most humble streamer? Yeah, I know. And anyway, Caesar came after Jesus. I guess so. But I know everything. Well, I'm trying to look at this right now, at least for now. So the point that I'm making is that you've got this whole situation going on, and look at the avowed player count. Well, who cares? I mean, it's not the same studio. Too many bad releases. Too many bad releases. And again, guys, I want to emphasize this. The success of Assassin's Creed Shadows, or the lack of success of Assassin's Creed Shadows, in my opinion, I don't think Assassin's Creed Shadows met their expectations. I don't. I think that they probably had even higher expectations for the game, and it did not meet them. That's it. And so it's a swing and a miss. Yeah, now, it probably did well, and it's not like this is going to be a Concord. It's not like it's going to be a Immortals of Avenum, you know, like massive failure game that nobody plays and it causes the company to fall apart. But again, the reason why this is happening is time and time again, they've released bad games and they've run out of time. And they had to sell a huge portion of the company to China, and they had to compromise all of their IPs and basically sell them to China. There it is. I'll go back and I'll read a few comments here, and we'll look at it. They had their chance. It's sad they failed because they're too DEI to make a good game nowadays. Well, the good thing that you can keep in mind is that all of those people are probably going to get immediately fired by China, and it's going to be totally over. So, yeah. And, what's this here? Now China is going to make games for me? The chuds? Bro. He's not wrong. Yep. And the thing is that, and I also want to talk about an element of this that I think is really important, is that you have a lot of people on Twitter who like to virtue signal about how much fun they're having playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, etc., and like how good the game is. Looking at the graphs, it sure seems like, and looking at the amount of people that are actually playing the game and watching content about the game, it's basically nobody. Like, I know that at least for, like, my my audience, like, yeah, people all wanted to watch, like, the first and second day, but then people got pretty tired of it fast because it was the same content over and over. So that's it. They were running defense for Assassin's Creed like this? Yeah, they were. They were running defense for a very long time, and they were completely in the wrong for it. They were. And the problem, and I think that what's disappointing about this, is that a lot of these people don't understand that what they were doing is they were enabling a company to make decisions that are going to cause the loss of thousands of people's jobs. When I'm calling out these things that these companies are doing and I'm saying this isn't good, they should be thanking me. They should be saying thank you for telling us this because we didn't know this and we can't figure it out. Most of us hate watched it. Yes, exactly. And so all of the people that were trying to run defense for Ubisoft and protect them from the chuds and everything, I want to let them know that you are responsible for this company having to lay off. This company will probably lay off over 10,000 people. collectively, right? Or at least like restructure them in a way that's not advantageous. That's probably what's going to happen. This is going to be a massive fucking rapture at this company. And they caused this because they're too caught up in their own identity politics and their own worldview in order to see common sense. And that's what's happened. These people have totally fucking lost their minds. They're defending things that are just retarded. And they can't read graphs. They don't understand numbers. And they've totally fucked everything up. They watch them give all the jobs to Chinese people. So what do you think the probability is that Tencent is going to restructure Ubisoft in a way that gets rid of the people in the Western studios and hires people in the Chinese studios? Oh, God. What are the odds of that? I think probably about 100%. Yeah, pretty much 100%. Yeah, it happened. It's going to happen, I mean. Yeah, it's going to happen. And what did you think of Assassin's Creed Shadows? Well, I thought it was a 6. It was a 6. Maybe it's a 7. Maybe it's a 5 for you. If you're a big fan of Assassin's Creed, it's either a 4 or an 8, maybe. You know, like if you really are happy or you're really not happy, etc. But I thought it was a 6. That's my opinion. And as somebody who's a virgin to the series, I've never played an Assassin's Creed game before. I just came in with relatively no expectations, or at least as much of an open mind as I could be. And, you know, I'd say it's a 6. Anyway. Huh? Virgin? No, I'm just saying, right? I mean, oh, you're talking about video games. Oh, no, I'd played Assassin's Creed before. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, my point is that this is of no surprise to anyone. I'm really glad to see this. I think that this is a complete chud victory. This is also a complete I don't know, actually. I don't know what it's gonna be like. What does chud mean? A chud is like a guy that complains a lot about DEI and, like, you know, modern audience gaming, basically, right? Like a low information, low intelligence, right-wing leaning person who doesn't really know what they're talking about, but doesn't really like, you know, minorities in video games or something like that, right? And like, this is obviously like a caricature, but that's what the term is being used for, right? And so anyway, someone I don't like, yes, clearly. And anyway, there it is. Wow. I can't fucking believe it. I'll refresh this again and see if there's any new information about this. China owns Tencent. Tencent buys 15% of Ubisoft. Tencent uses this position to push for ESG. ESG tanks the studio. Tencent buys them. Man. That's about right. I guess so. Well, there you go, guys. And you know, right-wingers just got drunk and are ashamed of the one-night furry stand. Maybe that's it. But anyway, it's BlackRock pushing ESG. That's just a joke. And Ubisoft sells off. All Assassin's Creed was doing was setting the sale price of the IP to the new subsidiaries co-owned by Tencent. Yep, there it is. Ubisoft owning the chuds by falling apart and needing to be rescued by Tencent. 3 million players in Shadows, though. Ubisoft lives on as predicted. Tencent was never going to let it die out. Ubisoft will live on in the same way that, like, a corpse lives on when it's resurrected by a necromancer, okay? Like, yes, it's living, kind of, right? But not really. So, yeah, BioWare lives on. Atari is still around, but not really. So, there you go. Me having to hear this fucking game and the AstroTurf support on my timeline when we all know Ubisoft is getting bought out by Tencent regardless of how this game does in sales. This gentleman right here, March 20...
Sick of you niggers! Every day the same shit! I'm sick of you niggers! Every day...
No, damn, he said it! He said it! Okay, I didn't know that. Anyway, yeah, he went all the way. And yeah, anyway, so Ubisoft got bought out by Tencent regardless. Bro, this guy, reject your false idols. Embrace thinking for yourself. And remember, self-righteousness will soon lead to damnation. He was right, man. He was fucking right. Oh my god, this is fucking funny. And we told you Ubisoft was cooked and they just sold off all their big merchandise. Yeah. And this is what I find to be really funny about this, is that all of these people, if Assassin's Creed was as successful as it needed to be, Tencent would not be doing this. No. No, that's not true. Tencent would have done this no matter what. This decision was decided. This was decided months ago. Again, Assassin's Creed is like after you break up with your girlfriend and she's like, and I've been cheating on you. Yeah, it just makes it worse. But the decision's already made. Yeah, it's already been made. It's already done. So Ubisoft is TAFsoft. Well, let me see here. TAFsoft? I don't know. Madness, we're all okay with... we are all okay with China basically owning the gaming market. I'm not okay with China owning the gaming market. And I think that it's very fair to be critical and worrisome about the fact that China is exercising true soft power by indirectly enforcing Chinese censorship into international games. And I think this is a very important conversation to have as Americans and Westerners at how we process this and how we respond to it. But would I rather... Okay, so here's the truth. Oh, God. Which one's worse? Actually, I want to do a poll. Who would you rather have in control? The CCP? Woke Karens. There's only two options. There's only two. There's not three. It crashes the website every time because there's a lot of people that vote on this, right? Will the poll, will Tencent milk the consumers more efficiently? I didn't see this. My mods did this. 95% of them say yes. Okay, so we are at the point now where the Council of Karens has become so unpopular, people are hoping that the Chinese Communist Party comes in, like... These people are so batshit retarded that these people are hoping, everybody's hoping now, that the Chinese Communist Party is going to come in and enact some common sense. How the fuck did we get here? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Imagine. Yeah, I'll link it for you guys again. There's the vote. If anybody else wants to vote before it crashes, that's okay. And it's all part of China's plan. Yes, it is. We are so cooked. Yeah, bunch of idiots in here. We hate woke shit. Well, it sure seems that way. The woke Karens are terrible too. Yep. There you go, gentlemen. I hope Elon is watching. Make games great again. He doesn't need to. China's doing it. Yep. China's doing it. Ubisoft say, Tencent, can you bail us out? Yeah, I guess so. Oh my god. You know who's probably so happy about this? Mark Kern. Because he's been getting roasted for days and days and days about this, you know, all Ubisoft and everything like this. Important to note, Ubisoft, like, because Ubisoft was making fun of him just a couple of days. It was yesterday. It was maybe the day before. I don't remember. Just a couple of days ago, they were memeing on this guy, and now, you know what's really funny is that social media manager is probably going to lose their job. Let's take a look at Tencent's social media presence. They don't care. They don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to them. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's gone. Well, I feel bad for him. I think he's a fun guy, but that's too bad. And incorrect. Check Riot. You're right. Riot does pretty well. They do. And sure. But I think that this is probably a much more of a controlling perspective. I think that Riot, the difference is that Tencent probably lets the people in the West do what they want to do because it's working. That's the reality, right? I mean, like, Riot is making money and the games are going well, so there's no need for any sort of, like, executive top-down leadership because you can let people just self-direct and make decisions on their own and things are going fine. The real time that you have top-down, like, decision-making happening is when things fall apart, and that's when you need that executive-level leadership. And so Riot doesn't need that, and neither does Grinding Gear Games. And they also, everybody loves Baldur's Gate 3. Tencent owns part of Larian Studios, who made Baldur's Gate 3. So Tencent basically owns a little bit of everything in the gaming industry, right? Minus a handful of companies. And ironically, a lot of the companies that they don't own are garbage. So I for one welcome you know, our new overlords here. I think it's great. I'm glad. Yep, there it is. They own preferred stock in Larian, not voting stock. I didn't say that they did. Like, it's like 10%. I wouldn't have said that they had like a decision-making capability in Larian if you would ask me that question. The point that I was making is that they are involved, and it's like a, you know, an old god, right? Or like Cthulhu. You know, it's spreading its influence everywhere. So Riot's multiplayer, and they put on events, so they need social media presence. That's a good point too. But I think everybody would use social media presence. It would matter. But anyway, so yeah, Mark Kern is, man, I bet he's pretty happy. Fucking vindicated. Oh my god. So there you go, gentlemen. Ubisoft is being completely restructured. They have made a secondary company. There will be a rapture of games people that work in this industry. A rapture like you have probably never seen before. And all company email that was sent by Ubisoft employees. Oh shit. Oh shit. Even this guy. Oh no. This was an email that was sent to people from Ubisoft. In a follow-up email, Marie Sophie Wilbert, Chase Studios and portfolio officer, said, I wanted to follow up immediately with all of you in Montreal, Quebec, Barcelona, whatever, about the new business unit being created. First and foremost, I want to emphasize that the agreement we announced is a powerful enabler and all exciting opportunity for Ubisoft. Yes, for the people that are writing these emails, it is. It will help us accelerate the evolution and improve how we make games with greater focus and agility. Do you know what agility means? That means when you trim the fat and you can move faster. Yep. Layoffs. Yep, you hear that word, agility? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Get ready. Yep, you're getting fired, exactly. Tencent's investment is a strong testament in their trust in our ability to grow Assassin's Creed. Well, it's their trust in the franchise, I would say. Is a direct result of the incredible work that you've done in making these franchises iconic? No, it's not. They haven't done good work, and they've destroyed the franchises, and that's the reason why you're selling part of the studio. If you think that they're actually selling their company to China because they want to, you're insane. They're doing this because they have to. Like, if you look at this stock, and I've shown this so many times, right? But if you look at this here, this is a really bad number. And you can't have a graph like this and keep your fucking job. Like, how many of you guys, if you had a graph like this, you'd be getting a performance improvement plan, or you know, you'd be out on your ass. You'd be done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're getting late. Yeah, you're probably just getting instantly laid off. You're not even getting a pip. You're getting instantly laid off. Yeah, you're getting fired, exactly. I also want to be clear, if you are not currently working on these brands, it doesn't mean that your work matters any less. It only means that you're going to get fired. So your work still matters, but it doesn't matter enough for us to probably pay you long term, so you're going to be gone. This agreement will benefit all of Ubisoft, giving us the means to spark, yeah, whatever. In the upcoming weeks and months, we will work hard to build the best organization possible. Of course, this brings some uncertainty and questions. Right now, we may not have all the detailed answers. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I think that you do. Wow. Is McDonald's hiring? I don't know. I'm sure they'll find out. Don't hesitate to reach out and stay tuned for the locally usual dedicated studio times will be good forums to keep you updated and answering your questions. Added the article. So this was, again, all Ubisoft company was sent this email. It's over. It's over. Wow. Ubisoft Montreal was so fucking cooked. Yep. They are. Anyone who isn't working on Rainbow Six franchise will be laid off. Yeah, Rainbow Six is one of the only franchises that they're doing that's going well. How it started, how it's going. Man, I feel bad for some of those guys that work there, you know? It's sad. But that's what happens. That's life. You should check out Pirate Nation's tweet. Okay, sure. I'll look at a few more things about this, and I want to look at some other stuff, too. Man, are they going to make a tweet about this at all? No. But instead of that, they announced... Wait, isn't this the helmet they gave Trump? Wait. Not exactly. But it's kind of close. Wow. Wow. So they're announcing this? Wow. It's an eagle. So it's jewelry? They're making jewelry? Well, tacky as fuck. Oh god, what do you say? Let me see. What is this show? Okay, so basically they're adding in this $80. What is this here? $120, $120, $80, $80. Wow. Bling bling. There you go, boys. And this is how they're doing. Well done. Not surprised at all. See you selling your IPs to sell in business. Hopefully Tencent will do something worthwhile with them. How's that major success going? Man. You know there's a lot of Malders in the comments, too. It's so funny for me to see this happen. I'm going to go back and I'll see if I can find this here. If there's any other new information about it. Let me see. Where'd it go? I mean, there's a lot of... Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know if there's any more of this. Is this it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, here we go. This is the relationship that they have. Okay, so we got a little bit more information about this. We're about to get $500 skins from Ubisoft now. That's fine. All I want is $60 games. I want $60 good games, and they can sell as many $500 skins as they want. I don't care. That's fine with me. Tencent will invest all the money. Ubisoft's biggest gaming IPs are remaining, so this is some new information here. The new subsidiary would include teams developing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six and Far Cry franchises based in Montreal, as well as the back catalog of other games. New subsidiary would be granted by Ubisoft a worldwide exclusive irrecoverable. Oh my god. Look at this. So this is, yeah, basically they went all the way with this. The new subsidiary would be granted by Ubisoft a worldwide, exclusive, irrevocable, perpetual license in respect to the intellectual property and similar proprietary rights owned or licensable by Ubisoft in relation to Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry in exchange for a royalty. Man. Yep, there it is. And so it's totally sold out. And, wow. Well, guys, the obvious thing that everybody knew would happen, happened. Shocking. Shocking, isn't it? Oh my god. Who could have guessed? Who could have possibly guessed that? And, there you go. Well, there it is. Let me go back. I'll look at a few more of these because, there were some other things I was gonna watch as well. It's crazy how much of this shit has been happening recently, and man, this is only 5 hours ago. Only 5 hours ago, guys. Man. I'm not ready to celebrate this new joint venture yet. I need to see their first game release before I believe they're heading in the right direction. Well, I just think that this is like, for me, this is vindication because a lot of people were trying to gaslight me and tell me that it was normal that the company loses 80% of its value in 5 years. And so I feel very vindicated about this, to be honest with you, because I was telling people, I was like, this is not, there's no way, right? There's no way this is like, this is good. Like, nobody can say this is good. And so, but people were just totally, because they were so blinded by like their culture fixation that they were unwilling to just look at objective reality. And it's really sad to see that happen to people, but unfortunately, reality arrives all the same, and it sure seems like it's here.